Hi, this is Abby from the Medicineless Pharmacy. You have decided to meal prep for yourself. Decided that you want to know what goes into your diet. So let's talk about the most important, crucial step on your meal prep journey, menu planning. It is the absolute most important thing that you need to do before you start your meal prep journey. If you guys have tried meal prepping in the past and have failed or even done it successfully for a while and somehow just stopped doing it, I will leave a link for a video all the way at the end where I talk about the meal prepping journey. Do listen to that video first so you could see where your blocks could be, which part of the meal prep you are struggling, so you guys could concentrate on that particular aspect of your meal prep journey. But if you're starting off, or you decided this is where you're struggling, or you just said, you know what, I want to give it a go, but all fresh this time, this is a good place to start. So let's talk about menu planning. The most important thing about menu planning is deciding what you want to eat. As easy as it sounds, I know this is the most tough thing to do, right? We all know what we want to eat, right? We all have this aspiration to be the person that eats the most vegetables, the most nutritious food, the most healthy thing available on the planet. But who are we kidding? We do love the mac and cheese. I love a good mac and cheese. I love my grilled cheese. I love bread, right? So what I should be eating, what I want to eat, and what I love to eat are different things. And that is the reality of it, let's face it, right? So when you are doing this menu planning, it's important to stick to the basics. When you're starting your meal prepping journey, I know when you decide to do meal prep for that single person, it's more of a self-care decision you guys have made. It's natural to be ambitious, to want to do great things. You might want to go on Pinterest, come up with hundreds of recipes and want to prep this and that. You're always on YouTube or on the shorts looking at various recipes and how easy it is to prep some of these dishes. You want to try this recipe, that recipe. I'm pretty sure you have a list of tags, right? Tagged videos that you want to go back and watch, add to your meal prep, and you want your life to be good. Great. You will get there. But when you're first getting started, it's important to keep it simple. The less you have on your meal plan, the more you will do and the more you will eat. Trust me, you guys. I've gone this road one too many times, and I know what works and what does not. If you are here listening to that video, you probably know that that does not. So keep it very simple. When you start menu planning for your meal prep, it's important to add recipes that you love to that menu plan. So how do you even plan this menu? Do you come up with recipes? Do you say, I want to eat mac and cheese, I want to eat pasta, I want to eat fried rice, I want stir fry, I want a teriyaki sauce? Is that how you meal prep or meal menu plan? Absolutely not. Because it's normal for you to change over the seasons of the year, right? There are times in your life you're probably all about Asian food. You love teriyaki, you want the soy sauce, you want the fish sauce, you want fried rice. And then there's going to be time in your life when you're all about Italian food. You want Alfredo, you're all about the cheese, you like the idea of creamy vegetables, right? We've all been there. We go through various phases of our life. So it's important not to menu plan based on recipes, but instead menu plan based on what vegetables and proteins you want to eat. I rarely plan my carbs. Carbs are so easy to eat. It's either bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, French fries, tortilla. So easy to do those, right? Carbs are the easiest thing to plan. I usually menu plan based on my vegetables and my protein. How should you be menu planning is totally customized to yourself. It's hard for anyone to tell you what you should be eating, what menus you should be planning, right? I wish it was that easy. I know people, when I did my lifestyle medicine, diet is a main thing that I work on with people. And I used to help a lot of people with their diet and like planning, menu planning and stuff. And most of the time people will just say, tell me what to eat and I'll eat it. I wish it was that easy. If I tell you what to eat and you eat it, you can't eat that for too long. That's why when you're following people that are planning, like meal prepping, it's nice to follow them for an inspiration, even to get some ideas here and there. But if you're prepping what they are prepping and you're eating what they are eating, it just might not work out for you. If you guys have already, leave a comment below if you had followed someone or followed some kind of a diet and like really try to work on that and it just did not work out for you. I'd love to hear that. It's a reassurance for other people listening to this video, right? To know that you can't follow somebody's diet. You cannot follow somebody's menu plan. You have to make your own menu plan. So let me go through how I do my menu planning. Because when I plan my menu, I myself sometimes eat a lot more Indian food. Sometimes I'm all about Asian, teriyaki and all of that. Sometimes I eat a lot of cheese and like Alfredo sauce and like I love butter. It all depends. I'm all into herbs. I go through seasons myself. So I usually don't menu plan based on recipes, but I plan based on what I want to eat. Again, it's important to have a skeleton of a menu plan. On your absolute worst week, you're busy at work, the kids have stuff to do, maybe you sprained your back, maybe something happened and you're not feeling well. What will you do? What can you do? What are the absolute basic things you should do? These are the things you want to think about, right? And your menu plan should be a basic skeleton. Let me go over my menu plan, and then you guys could probably take inspiration from there and see how that would work for you. You guys could probably even follow like my basic aspects, but do recipes based on your preferences. So I love eating my vegetables, but vegetables are so hard to prep and cook. Meat is easy, right? You could just get seasoned chicken, frozen chicken, and just do them. You could get seasoned fish. Meats are pretty easy to prep, but I wish I could say the same for vegetables. They're pretty hard. So vegetables is where I start. So I usually will do a minimum of 3 vegetables. My menu plan always has 3 vegetables, hands down. One of the vegetables are proper vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, it could be cabbage, I'll sometimes do radish, asparagus, so many options, right? So many options. One basic vegetable. The second, I should say one basic non-root vegetable. The second vegetable I add is a root vegetable. It's not, I don't do potatoes. I try to avoid potatoes as much as possible because we eat so much potatoes so easily, right? And again, potato is like a backup for me. On a Saturday or Sunday, when I want something nice, I do throw French fries in my air fryer. I will put some whole potatoes and like bake a whole potato and have like baked potato, right? I would have mashed potato with cheese or something with like fish. So potatoes are easy to eat. So when I go out somewhere for dinner and stuff, when I go to somebody's house, potatoes are hands down the most I eat. So potatoes are easy to eat and I try to avoid them in my meal prep. So I will do one root vegetable, which is non-potato. I will do sweet potatoes. I could do squash. You could also do beets, carrot, parsnips. Any of those would work. Japanese sweet potato, There's so many different kinds of sweet potatoes, and I'll grab a different one every time. So those are that, right? So one regular vegetable and one root vegetable. And then I'll have a third vegetable that'll go into a curry, a gravy, or a soup, whatever I decide to do that week, right? So the third vegetable will be something that'll go into a curry, or sometimes I'll even pan fry, like string beans that you could just like quickly pan fry over the stove. So the first two vegetables I always roast. I do something, I have a seasoned salt. I call it my seasoned salt. That's my own personal flavors that I like. It's salt with like paprika, some garlic, onion, like a mix of stuff. If you guys are curious about my seasoned salt, do leave a comment below. I'll be happy to share them with you. But again, that's a customized seasoning that I like for my own personal preference. It could be different for you, right? It could be adobe, it could be like a lemon garlic seasoning, maybe Cajun seasoning, whatever you guys like. So I'll do two vegetables that'll get roasted with the seasoning, and one vegetable that'll get cooked on stovetop, either by itself or in a curry with the pasta, with the soup. Think asparagus, broccoli, any of those things, right? So those are the three vegetables I'll do. And I'll do one cooking green. I say cooking greens because I'm not a big fan of salad. I can't eat salad every day. And when you're meal prepping, it's hard to eat salad as a single person, unless you get like those packaged salad packages that you get. But even that, right? When you get like a package, they go bad soon, and you probably eat fresh in the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week, they go bad. So I don't really eat so much salad myself. So I'll probably do one salad during the beginning of the week, or I'll just do raita and something fresh, something like cold and fresh. But I always do a cooking green. The cooking green could be collard green, Swiss chard, kale, maybe like a dandelion greens. I'll sometimes get beets with the bunch, so I'll use those. So there's always a cooking green. And if I get like a cooking green, it'll usually be like 2 servings. Most of the times I'll just get that pre-washed spinach box, right? You get, or a mix, and they do good. They do a lot of mixed greens now at the store, and they come in a small box, which is under $5, and which is great. It's pre-washed and it's easy to just like wilt in the stovetop, and that's what I do. Sometimes I'll also add it to my tomato base and make it into like a curry. But either way, I do 3 vegetables, 1 non-root, 1 root, and 1 that could go in a curry or a soup, and I do 1 cooking green. And I also do 3 proteins. So pick your protein. I eat a more pescatarian diet, so I do not eat meat. But if you eat meat, it could be chicken, pork, and maybe a burger, maybe fish. I tend to do a couple of servings of fish. Sometimes I'll do shrimp, and I also do a lot of beans and lentils to add to my protein, right? So I will do beans and lentils and stuff, and I make my own beans. But this is what goes in my diet. So these are the aspects I pick, and then I get recipes to go with them. Like, you guys could see how simple this is, right? I'll also do 1 pack of frozen vegetable, which is a mix. It's like a mixed frozen vegetable pack. I have a big pack from Costco, so I always have frozen vegetables in my freezer. I have a deep freezer just for vegetable, you guys. Vegetables are so hard to prep, and it's nice to have frozen vegetable for a stock. So I have a big bag of frozen vegetables, so it's good if you guys don't have the luxury of having a deep freezer. When you go shopping, just grab like a pack of those mixed frozen vegetables. You could saute them over the pan, and it'll be like a quick serving of like vegetable. Most of the time, I don't eat plain rice. I season my rice. I'll usually add like beans or like vegetables to my rice and then cook them like that. I'll add frozen vegetables to my rice and cook them just like that in a rice cooker, and they come out amazing. This helps me cut down on the amount of carbs I eat too on a more natural basis. But again, there are some weeks when I'll add more, I'll do more. I'll make like fish piccata, I'll make Alfredo, like a ravioli with like all these fancy sauces. I do a lot of other things, but these are the basic things I do. And make sure you have at least 2 easy frozen option. I always have like a cauliflower pizza in my freezer. My daughter loves it. I love it. On an absolute worst day, I'll pull the cauliflower pizza out. As terrible as it sounds, like it's a pizza, it has cauliflower crust and it's healthy relatively, right? And it tastes amazing. Sometimes I'll have like the spinach ravioli. I'll grab like a ravioli and I'll quickly make like a pasta just with butter and stuff, and it's so easy to make. So I'll have 2 frozen options in my freezer all the time. If you guys don't have a habit of like stocking up the freezer with frozen items, it's a good idea to add them in your shopping list and get 2 healthy frozen options, right? Something like a ravioli, like I said, frozen pizza. It could be like an enchilada, maybe burritos, or some like quick option, right? So these are the basic things I have in my food prep, in my menu planning, right? These are the aspects I take, and then I menu plan based on those aspects. Sometimes I'll go to the store and get what's fresh, get what's on sale, but follow like the skeleton so I'm not overbuying. Because trust me, how many times have you guys been to the store, maybe hungry, and then looked at the vegetables and you felt like, I could cook any of this. You name it, I can make this, right? And you bring like all these vegetables back home, and then like at the end of the week, you throw them all out in the garbage. Has happened to me more than once or twice in my life. So I am absolutely against waste nowadays. I try to eat organic food, but eat less of it, right? I mean, I should say eat all of the stuff I buy so I don't waste too much. Sometimes I'll get like organic iceberg lettuce because they're small. The organic iceberg lettuce is small. But for that same price, you could get like a huge iceberg lettuce. But why do you care? You're just cooking for yourself. You're just cooking for this one person, right? And that's you. You're the most important person. Eat the iceberg, eat the organic iceberg lettuce. Instead of getting a big lettuce and you know you're not going to be able to finish it, instead of getting a big one and throwing it in the garbage, just get smart about what you guys are buying, right? So think 3 vegetables, 1 non-roasting one regular vegetable, 1 root vegetable, and 1 vegetable you could cook over the stove. A pack of frozen vegetable that could go into the soups, on the stovetop, maybe with your pasta, that's more versatile. And then you do 1 cooking green, and then you do 3 proteins. And then whatever protein you pick, however you want to season it, it's easy if you keep the seasoning simple. I do the seasoned salt and I season everything with the same stuff, right? It makes my life easy. But if you're an absolute beginner and you're just starting to do this, it's important to come up with that basic skeleton. You might eat less vegetables, you might eat 1 more extra vegetable. Go ahead, add it. If that's what you do on a regular basis, that's what you should do. So go through and make like a basic plan, like the most simple plan, and try to stick to that plan for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Don't get hung up on what vegetables you're going to eat. Just make it a vegetable, a root vegetable. Keep it simple, you know what I mean? Keep it in like a category of vegetable that you'll be eating. Keep it simple. Do this at least for 4 to 6 weeks. At the end of the 6th week, you'll be ready to add more or do more here and there, and then you'll be doing great. And you might have a tough week 1 week, and you'll go back to this simple menu again, right? and which is totally fine. And you'll do that for a couple of weeks and come back up again and start doing so many other things. You will do enchiladas, you could do tacos, you could make fried rice, you could do teriyaki stir fry. There's so many options, right? So the menus are simple. The more simpler they are, the more you'll make it, the more you'll eat it. So it's important to keep it simple. I am curious to see what kind of menu you guys are going to come up with, right? Please leave a comment below on if this skeleton works for you guys, or if that did not work that way, what kind of changes you guys made. So other people that are watching could probably have inspiration from your list, right? And do something different for themselves. Again, it's very important to menu plan based on your personal preference, especially when you're cooking for a single person that's yourself. It's important to be honest with yourself and eat the food you love. Once you get into the routine of menu planning, eating the food you love, and getting used to it, you could start adding that one vegetable that you might not love eating, but found this one recipe that works for you, right? Then you could add that one recipe in. But at the beginning, keep it simple, keep it sweet, then you're able to do more. Thanks for listening to me. Hopefully this helped. I'll actually leave my list of those frozen vegetables and proteins that I eat, like what I talked about. I'll probably leave a list in the bottom. That'll be helpful for you guys, hopefully. Thanks for listening to me, you guys. See you next week. Bye.